St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, and Broken Arrow is going to look a little different this year. And it's all because of this event, Shamrock the Rose District. Deborah Wimpy and Luke Owens are planning this first ever event in Broken Arrow through the BA Buzz organization.
Luke and I kind of created it out of just wanting to build community, basically.
This small business is making a big buzz with the Shamrock the Rose District event. Deborah and Luke both agree that with a population of over 100,000 people in Broken Arrow, this should be a yearly event.
We're trying to replicate some of the same experiences that are happening in downtown Tulsa, in the Blue Dome District. There are different festivals and that. With our live music, we've got street vendors, food trucks. It will be a family-friendly event, which is starting at 4 o'clock, and we will be ending by midnight.
The live bands include local artists that will open up at 4 p.m. with a performance by Alaska and Maddie, who are contestants in The Voice on NBC. This event is a win-win for residents and local businesses.
So it's nice we have something local with local vendors, and we're always happy to participate in anything with the community. We have a lot of specials going on.
2014 is going to be the beginning of a really exciting journey to bring more of our local people into the street and actually creating a space that everybody wants to come and see.
You can find more information on their Facebook page.
The most information is actually on the events tab on facebook.com/thebabuzz.
I'm standing right here on Main Street where the event is going to take place, between Dallas and Broadway. This event is sure to have a lot of charm. I'm Mike Taylor reporting for Spirit Man Media. On day one of the tornado relief efforts, 15 volunteers gathered together from Rhema Bible Church to help tornado-damaged victims in Kearney, Oklahoma. We set out with a printed map and a word of prayer to be a blessing to hurting people.
As we go into these communities and we just begin to help.
As we drove into Kearney, there was rain, lightning, and thunder.
Dryer wrapped around a tree over there. It's
a dryer?
Yeah.
But that wasn't going to stop us from helping Sherry Reedy.
Yeah, you thought he sounded like me, huh?
Whose house was completely leveled. But it did cause us to take a break. Eugene is holding a coat for me right now. We're just throwing wood and cleaning up. Trying to keep the camera dry. It's starting to rain. I think we're gonna have to get back in.
The Assembly of God has got some indoor work, hanging up clothes and organizing some things.
Later on at the church, we caught up with Sherry.
I'm trying to do debris removal, and if I can, basically I need closure.
It was noontime and it seemed like the rain wasn't letting up, but neither were our volunteers.
And as soon as we got here, boy, it started raining, but we worked, trudged through it, and it was good. We blessed them, and she blessed us, so. That's what the work of Christ is all about, right?
The First Assembly of God Church in Kearney was a checkpoint for many victims and volunteers. And when there's damage on the ground, it's good to know that our state's elected officials are concerned about us.
I tell you what, you look at the destruction, it's been absolutely horrific all throughout the state. We're in Kearney right now taping this, but in Wellston and Fallis and over in Prague, et cetera, down in Bethel Lake, Shawnee area and more. Horrific devastation, but the people responding, loving one another, and personifying faith that we all believe in. We grew up, and I think I'm talking to a lot of Rhema folks right now. A lot of volunteers here in Kearney from Rhema. Thank you for coming over. Thank you for the ministry you're providing to our brothers and sisters in Kearney, Oklahoma.
This past week, over 300 people went to Abundant Life Church in Joplin, Missouri to help clean up the damage a deadly tornado left behind. The house of Julie Vuteritzes was damaged, but God saved her life.
The three of us, my girlfriend and my 16-year-old daughter.
Now she finds hope from the volunteers from Rhema Bible Church and Service International.
I have never seen workers with a smile on their face and they're not being paid for it. And I just see that God is so good.
Youth Pastor Keith Neighbor has seen the hard work from the volunteers pay off but it's far from completion.
When we leave here today, when we pull them out of that area at 6 o'clock, it still won't be cleaned up.
As the cleanup efforts came to an end for this day, the volunteers were able to reflect back on their experience.
If you can come and help, come. You'll never be the same.
I'm Mike Taylor, reporting for This Week at Rhema. Bye. As I walked through a crowd of 55,000 people, you could see people having fun all around with smiles on their faces. I had a chance to ask a few of them what they liked about Rockets Over Rhema.
Of course, the bands, they're really awesome.
Coming and hanging out with my friends and watching all the fireworks, it's really cool.
Funnel cakes. You don't like a funnel cake?
That's how you make a corn dog, baby.
While everyone was getting ready for the fireworks, Jen Kolb was selling water for Rhema's music department.
It's a good opportunity to see back into a church that gives so much to me.
The fireworks were awesome, but it was really the heart of the people that really made an impact. This is Mike Taylor reporting for This Week at Rhema. We want you to join us for Transcend Worship Conference, August 7th through the 10th. Speakers are going to include Tim Brown, Michael Burdick, Dan Kraft, Laura Cook, Dale Womack, and Mike Taylor. Where's it going to be? It's going to be at Victory Fellowship in beautiful Fredericksburg, Texas. You can get more information by going to transcendworship.com or call 830-997-9717. Look us up on Facebook and Twitter at TranscendWC. We cannot wait to see you there.
We kind of joined forces because I think we understood that, you know, there's the greater cause and the vision ultimately behind, you know, Mission Brand and the cause what you're doing, what we're doing is that we want to reach people with the gospel of Jesus Christ.
we definitely felt that it was right to, partner with Mission Brand and really take this thing, because with what you guys do and how you sell apparel to fund missionaries, and we sell apparel to hopefully eradicate sex trafficking.
It's just really cool how you can take a product and you can attach it to the purpose, and ultimately there's a way that you can help redeem the consumer mindset in some kind of way that helps people know that there's purchasing power too that can be yielded to the love of Jesus and the power of the gospel to change the world through the way you buy things. And I don't think the world is fully understand the capacity of how that can actually change the economic structure for a family if they're considering selling their child into sex trafficking, because their child is the last product they have that's going to help rescue them financially, or if it's even for missionaries going on the mission field and they're in dire need of finances in some kind of way because they feel that their mission is the Great Commission to go and do what God has called them to do. And I think it's really cool how these things have kind of dovetailed together to work in unison to provide for people, whether it's the missionaries doing the work or the people that the work is being done for. Either way, it's a worthy thing to work towards. Well, the mission and purpose behind Mission Brand is to use apparel for the purpose of supporting missionaries, and the way we do that is we sell apparel and we give 33% of everything we sell to fund missionaries on the mission field, and that's the basic breakdown of what we do.
Well, the way that this all got started was Matt and I lived in California, and the Western mindset is centered around materialism, and we have a passion for reaching students as well, and we noticed that for a lot of teenagers, their world is centered around high school. And so as a way for us to break out of that, we designed a t-shirt for an orphanage in Tanzania. We sold the t-shirt to the students and let them know that everything that we made from the t-shirt was going to go straight back into that orphanage. And we saw a change in the way that these students were thinking, where they became more aware of what was going on around the world. And specifically, the first missionaries that we sponsored were Monica and Dave, and they weren't able to leave yet because Dave had a disease that prevented him from taking his whole family overseas, and so he had to raise double the money to be able to go, and that just made us angry. We wanted them to be able to go as soon as possible. If they wanted to give their lives for the gospel, we wanted to help them do that. That's exactly what we did. And so that's how Mission Brand started.
The cause, basically, we began it just, we had a conversation about the injustices in the world, and we came across a brand called My Fight. And with that, we were able to hear stories about sex trafficking and what they really entail, and that sex trafficking isn't just about a girl getting abducted. It's actually, the bigger story is about a mom and a dad having to make a decision to sell one of their daughters into it to get funds in order to feed their family for the rest of their life. And so we started with My Fight, getting their stuff and selling it. Every 16 shirts is enough to do a microloan for a woman. So instead of her having to sell her daughter, we'd come alongside and give her a loan. Every time we sold 16 shirts, we'd find another woman and do the same thing for her. But then through that, we've moved into other brands, the Darling necklace, and that necklace is basically, every time we sell it, 50% of the proceeds go to a house in Ecuador, and it houses females that were rescued out of sex slavery. Then at the very end of the whole cycle, the end of the umbrella kind of was the fair trade side, the items that are like items that women make that would have gotten a microloan. And so we get to sell those items, and it's just, our mission was to, kind of the same as y'all's mission, to get people to understand that when you buy a cool product, that's awesome, but then they realize what's at the end of that product, and it changes their perspective, and they start looking deeper into their life on, how can I help? What else can I do? But until they came in contact with that item that actually opened their eyes, they never even thought about it.
Well, really simple. Something that was passionate to both of us just became something that we couldn't ignore. We wanted to make it apparent how you could, on the consumer side, how you could shop and make a difference and make a point to shop to give people a better avenue for life.
Another angle of our company and organization is the fair trade side. Just to explain it briefly is that fair trade is just a fair exchange for both the buyer and the person that's either created it, whether it was the artisan or whether it was the agricultural worker or whatever the product may be.
How do we actually support the missionaries? What we strive to do is every time we're working towards a new missionary couple or missions organization, we look to take a little bit of their story or a little essence of where they're from and style it into part of the shirts.
Our heart was moved towards starting the cause and this organization just because of the fact that when you hear a staggering number of $32 billion, that seems huge, and it is huge. It's the #1 industry in the world, and then when you realize that that $32 billion actually speaks to sex slavery and human trafficking, that's even worse, because you realize that the #1 commodity in the world becomes a child. They say that 70% of the buyers of these girls, even overseas, are people from the Western culture, are people that are coming over from here, going there, and buying those girls. We are here in Oklahoma, and it's a horrible thing to think that right here in our own backyard, we're not only #1 in our country for sex trafficking, but we're #6 in the entire world. There's something that we have to do. And that's why we feel, doing the cause and, attaching ourselves with Mission Brand and going out and doing events at churches and educating people is a big part of what we do and what we stand for.
Roughly 1,000 missionaries leave the mission field every year. And the primary reason that they leave the mission field is simply because they don't have the income to support them. And I think it all starts with asking yourself, how can I serve? I think our hope is that it would also be considering being a part of what we're doing. I think that's a very important question that everybody sees this should ask.
The army that's raging forward in the glory, all united we stand. In the praises of our hearts we will raise for the glorious Lord Jesus Christ. Let us rise, sing the song with our beautiful hearts. Let us rise, let us go into battle for life, to the glorious victory with love in our hearts. We will love you forever for freedom of life. And the freedom is ours, we are free from the chains of our lives. We are free. We can shout, we can praise you, our King. From the chains of our lives, we're free. Like the Moses when he lifted his hands, the anointing of victory floated from his hands. You give us your strength when we're lifting our hands. You give us your victory when we're praising your name. song with our beautiful hearts. Let us rise, let us go into battle for life, to the glorious victory with love in our hearts. We will love you forever for freedom of life. And the freedom is ours, we are free from the chains of our lives. We are free. We can shout, we can praise you, our King. From the chains of our lives, we're free. And the sons of the armor of life Jesus gave us when he died for lives. So let us rise all together and praise. Let us praise Jesus' beautiful name. Let us rise and sing that song with our beautiful hearts. Let us rise and let us go into battle for life, to the glorious victory with love in our hearts. We will love you forever for freedom of life. And the freedom is ours, we are free from the chains of our lives. We are free. We can shout, we can praise you, our King. From the chains of our lives, we are free. And the freedom is ours, we are free. From the chains of our lives, we are free. We can shout, we can praise you, our King. From the chains of our lives, we are free.
Warrior Ministries is a non-profit, faith-based organization.
I was coming in to get my door smiled.
They have been helping the homeless, those battling drug addictions, alcoholism, and other life-controlling problems since 1999.
And me, a couple of friends started a Bible study in South Haven, Mississippi. After a few months, we started going out and feeding the homeless and doing some jail ministry, doing some things to help the poor. Probably in the next year or so, it just always seemed like I had someone living with me that we were helping, and it just kept growing. And then in 2001 is when we started our program.
Warrior Ministries' continued growth is fueled by their vision to reach the world.
It's always been a dream of ours to be involved in missions.
And God is bringing that vision to pass through a man by the name of William Hart.
Our youngest son was in the ministry in that program for 13 months. I just felt like Ryan needed to go on one of these trips. And so I called David Benson, which is the director there at Warriors, and I talked to David about it, and all I can tell you is a God thing.
That would be just like God, to use the brokenness of one young man to unite the vision of a ministry by the love of a father who is the plant manager for a metal building manufacturer.
Spirco got involved in 2001.
Spirco Manufacturing sells and manufactures metal buildings. They have been in business since January of 1986. Barry Sims is the owner and president of Spirco, the company where the materials come from to build churches in Mexico. After years of prompting by his plant manager and an emphatic declaration by his wife, Barry decided to go with his wife on the next mission trip.
It turned out she couldn't make the trip, but I'd already committed to William that I would go, so I went.
On Barry's first mission trip, the work was hard and the hours were long. He was most impressed with the talents of the men in Warrior Ministries.
One gentleman was a welder, Tommy. If we wouldn't have had him on the trip, I don't think we would have got this roof put on. This roof had to be welded down to the foundation on this second floor. There's only one welder among 21 of us, and he's a certified welder. And you know, we just knew why he was there. You know, God sent him there to weld up these columns.
He was so impressed by the men, when asked about the living conditions of the people of Mexico, he was not yet finished talking about Warriors.
Could I go back to the Warrior Ministries?
As God was showing talents to Barry, he was also showing needs to Mike Good from Warriors Ministries.
No matter what situation I've been in the past, no matter whatever I've done, it's nothing compared to what they're going through on a daily basis. I've chosen what I decided to do. I've chosen where I decided to go, but they don't have a choice in anything they do.
When the men of Warriors give out,
at first I didn't know if I really wanted to come.
Pastor David Vincent expects for them to get back.
I've been the one that's been blessed.
When men come back and you just see the transformation, and you see change in their heart, change in their mind, change in their thoughts, how they see themselves, you see the purpose that's birthed in their life. It's done at such a fast rate, you know. It's such a quick work that you realize, you know, it makes us realize just how powerful these trips are.
Every year, Warrior Ministries and Spearco Manufacturing have a part to play in working with Ronnie Boswell and Missions for Mexico.
We are expecting great victories here in this church.
They are helping missionary Mike McGee build churches for the people of Mexico to worship.
The churches down there are few and far between, and the foundation we laid was less than 100 yards from the church that the witch ran, that was a devil-worshiping church. And there's people that are ready to praise God, but there's not anywhere for them to congregate at.
The rewards of corporations and ministries working together cannot be numbered.
We're blessed to be a blessing.
It was a great experience helping somebody out and doing what was supposed to be done.
The Bible teaches us that, you know, whatever you do for the poor, whatever you do for the lower man on the totem pole, that God will, you know, do for you.
We're here on the Rhema USA campus in front of the Rooker Memorial Auditorium, where you can see behind me the students are going in. This is a social media minute with Mike Taylor, and I'm standing here with Mike Harwell, who is the recruiter at RBTC. Just this past weekend, you had the Rhema College weekend. How did that go? How did students respond to that? Welcome to Camp Meeting 2012, a 40th anniversary of Kenneth E. Hagin's Camp Meeting. I'm Mike Taylor. This is a social media break. I'm here with Scott Webb, who was just preaching this morning. Scott, how'd that go? I'm standing in what used to be someone's front yard next to a broken speaker. And you know, here in Joplin, they're still needing your help. This week at Rhema, we're going to take a closer look into how you can actively be a participant in helping the cleanup effort. Hey everybody, this is a Camp Meeting social media break. I'm Mike Taylor. This is Craig Hagan. And Craig, you know, you just got done preaching this morning's service. How was that? Hey, this is a social media break with Mike Taylor, and I'm here with David Wildman and Rich King, and we are talking about Amplify 2012.
That's right, yeah.
Thanks, Matt and Angel. Fireflight is just wrapping up on stage. Up next is Hawk Nelson, then the fireworks, but right now I'm gonna go check out the crowd and see how they like Rockets Over Rhema. Hey, this is Mike Taylor with a social media break from Rhema Bible Church, Kenneth Hagin Ministries. It's Rockets Over Rhema this year. It is July 1st. We are having a blast. It is hot. It is humid. I'm here with the 6 Morning crew. Guys, how are y'all liking it so far? Well, hey, we're in the World Religion class at RBTC, and we're on RBTC Live right now. We're going to be talking to some students, asking them what they like about RBTC. Brandon, how are things going so far at Rhema?
Josh,
what's going on, bro?
not much, just going into service.
What announcements are you looking forward to today?
Hopefully tuition to be paid for.
What is your favorite class so far?
Life of Honor.
Life of Honor. All right, that's good. That's good. What are you learning in there?
A lot about what you think, say, and do, affects your daily life and how you apply that to your personal life and how your personal life will affect your life with your family and how your life with your family will affect the community, which will in turn will affect the whole great commission that God has given us.
Like a sponge, isn't he, folks? Like a sponge. Let's catch somebody else. Has anybody not had a snack today? Does anybody need a snack? Any hands for a snack? Okay, you need a snack. Okay, what's your name?
Cameron.
You like popcorn?
I do like popcorn.
Okay, here's some popcorn for Cameron.
That's awesome.
Cameron loves popcorn.
I do. I love popcorn.
What year are you, Cameron?
I'm a second-year student.
Are you loving RBTC so far?
Oh my gosh, best decision I've ever made other than getting saved. It's awesome.
This guy's got a bunch of energy, I can tell. Hey, what's your name?
Stephen Walker.
Stefan!
That's my name. Yep.
Yeah. Can you sing it for me?
Stefan!
How's RBTC going for you so far?
Come to school.
That's right. Trying to get people involved in Rhema, trying to help them to understand that this is a great training college to come to. Make sure you share it with your friends. If you have any questions about coming to Rhema, Christy Wicks is the person to call. And make sure you visit rbtc.org/trendsetters. We'll see you later, Christy.